Hey, Mike with Row Pest Control here. And do you ever wonder where mice come from? Doesn't kind of seem like they just appear out of nowhere in your home during the fall and winter months. Well, today's video I'm going to go through a couple ways they end up in your house and some tips you can use to actually prevent rodent issues over the winter. So one thing to keep in mind is that rodent issues always are going to be coming from the outside of your home, right? So they typically aren't really hanging out in your home during the warmer months. They usually can find ample food sources outside in the wild during that time. So for the most part, if they're in your home, most issues are going to happen in like the fall and winter months. And it can seem like they come out of nowhere, but there's several factors that could be the reason why they're actually ending up in your home. So as temperatures change, seasons change, as it gets colder, these rodents and mice are going to be looking for different places to live, to survive, and then breed throughout the winter. Now, typically, if they are outdoors or they find a space in like a garage or somewhere that's kind of warm, they usually won't be breeding as much because they're going to want ample warmth, ample shelter, and food sources to survive throughout the winter, and they're not really going to risk breeding if they don't have easy access to those. So what's going to happen is as temperatures drop and seasons transition, they're going to be looking for a better place to live. And unfortunately, in most cases, that's your home. And sometimes what can happen is many people will inadvertently do things that can actually attract rodents into their home. And one of them is going to be not sealing entry points efficiently. So a lot of times what happens as temperatures drop down, it becomes the fall months, right? It's more mild temperatures. People will typically leave their windows open, leave their doors open, or maybe just a screen door and a screen window will be really the only barrier for these pests to getting into your home. And a lot of time these screens can be damaged. There could be cracks under the doors, or as small as like 1/4 of an inch could let in mice and rodents. So be very aware of that. So install things like weather stripping on windows, door sweeps under doors to really shorten that gap of entry points for these pests, and make sure that your screens are properly intact as well. Another common area where these mice and rodents get into your home are things like exhaust vents and then dryer vents for your home as well. Now, if you don't have the screen over these, or maybe a flap that goes down, you could be just inviting pests to get in. So that's a common area that pests like mice also get into your home. But another thing to really keep in mind is that, are you setting up shelter space and food sources for these mice and rodents outside of your home? A common thing that people will do is they'll leave leaf piles or grass clippings or various things like that, compost piles, different things like that around their home that can actually attract and be great shelter sources for mice. So again, there's really 3 factors that pests and rodents and mice alike are going to be looking for, and that's basically a food source, a shelter source, and water source. Now outdoors, usually pests have pretty ample access to water, but sometimes the food sources and shelter sources, especially when temperatures start to drop, can be few and far between. So again, if you're leaving grass clippings, excess leaf piles around, those can be warmer areas and perfect shelters for pests and mice and rodents. And so again, they can hang out there. And if you're also providing a food source, which a lot of people do, they don't properly store their garbage around their home, that can be easy access to food source as well. So if they have that extra warmth from those leaf piles, grass clippings, and whatnot, again, and that easy access to food source through those garbages that aren't properly stored, that can be a recipe for rodents and mice to breed like crazy. Now, again, a small rodent problem and mice problem can turn into a very big one, because again, they do breed incredibly fast. So if you are having those excess food and shelter sources, it could be an easy trip from those to getting into your home. So again, you could just be opening the door out into the cold, just simply go into your car or whatever the case might be, and those rodents can run right in to your home at that point. So again, don't be setting up those easy factors for them to be getting into your home. Now, some little unknown or maybe less thought of areas that could be bringing in pests could come in the form of storage units, where again, if you're getting taking things from those storage units and bringing them into your home. That can be another area where rodents can get in that you might not really think about. Now, you maybe feel like you don't have specific pest issues in your storage unit, or you certainly didn't when you initially put your stuff in, but when pests are in close quarters like that in storage units, things like college dorms, apartment complexes, it's very easy for them to spread very quickly from unit to unit. So you might not have had a pest issue when you put your stuff in, but there certainly could be pests in there when you're looking to take stuff out. And they could be hidden in the boxes, various things that you're moving into your home. So again, you might unknowingly bring those pests into your home in the winter months. So again, though, overall, if you focus, you pay attention, you look through those different things before you bring them into your home from those storage units, you clean up grass clippings, leave piles, things like that, and you properly store your garbage outside, and then focus on sealing those entry points, can really go a long way to preventing mice issues over the winter and fall months in your home as well. But if you do run into pest issues and mice issues around your home, again, be sure to reach out to a pest control service. As like I said, when they have access to food, water, and shelter, they tend to breed very quickly. So a small rodent problem could turn into a big one rather quickly. So again, reach out to a pest control service like us at Rove Pest Control if you have those issues. If you want to get a hold of us, you can at rovepestcontrol.com. If you also happen to be a first-time customer with us, you can go to rovepestcontrol.com/50 off and enter your information there to get $50 off your first service with us. So if you have rodent issues, mice issues, or maybe you just want to set up a protective program for your home to begin with, again, head on over to rovepestcontrol.com. And then as a first-time customer, you can go to rovepestcontrol.com/50 off to get that great discount. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll talk to you more soon.